Hi guys, we are live from the Corsair booth on Cebit 2010. So I'm here with Alex and Monstru from Lab 541. So basically this talk is to present you some of the Corsair's memories. So first, Alex, can you please present yourself? Say what's your role inside the Corsair, and then present us those memories.
Okay. Well, I'm working for Corsair since 2007. I'm in charge of the press and the technical marketing for Central and South Europe. So I'm in touch with the partners. I'm in touch with you guys, which is always my pleasure. And I will now let you know what we have as latest modules, and we'll present you our new Dominator GTX modules.
So, what can you tell us about those memories?
I'm sure everybody already knows the very famous Dominator Corsair modules. So what we have here, these are the highest, the best, finest selection of modules, especially for the extreme guys. So every chip on these modules is hand selected. So we get the chips, they run through a scanning machine, and the very best chips, they are tested by Bacchus himself in the Corsair lab. So we have special modules where you can flip in each chip. So he will test everything by hand, and we'll put the numbers on it, and so these modules then will be produced.
So those modules are the best one you have?
Well, actually, these are the best modules we have. They look the same, but they are not the same. We have two different GTX modules. We have the GTX 1 and the GTX 2. The GTX 1 is very high megahertz, so we've got 2400 megahertz Cas9, and the GTX 2 is paired high megahertz and fast latencies. So here we use the PSC chip, and this chip here is the very famous Elpida Hyper.
Okay, thank you. Monstru, I heard you had maybe some questions or some reactions about those memory. What?
Yes, of course. First question for Alex would be, we all know the Corsair Dominator GT series, very high-end, very special memory. So what was the idea behind putting out two more models and a new series, the GTX series, which takes the Dominator series even beyond what the GT models have done before.
So the philosophy behind these modules is to really offer those guys who need it, and I'm addressing you as well as the rest of the readers of OverClocking-TV, to really deliver the best that there is, to let you reach the results, to get the world records for special tweaked Super P records and all these things. So this is actually the best we can produce, and as soon as somebody has a greater chip or what else, you can be sure that we always push it up to the limits.
Half a second break, I have to kill this. Okay, so the question on everybody's mind is how will the availability of these products be? Because in the past, very high-end models, very specially selected, are sometimes hard to find. So will this be widely available, or let's say it's not a limited edition, but it's not a high quantity of models available?
So, well, in the end, this is pretty simple. We only can produce these modules if we get the chips, right? And when we get the chips from the chip manufacturers, it could be that 20% of the chips we can use to produce these modules. On the other side, we order a second charge, and there's not a single chip we can use. So it always depends on the quality of the supply of the manufacturer. That's why we cannot offer these modules in retail. It absolutely makes no sense. We could offer them to the distributor, but then they are not happy about that we cannot supply. But also they will be listed, so the vendors will put them in the store, and the end user they will order them. But it will only create a line of unhappy people. So these modules, they are only available in the Corsair shop. The actual price is $200 per one module. And of course, as we are increasing to work with our beta testers out there in the world, so the guys that really go extreme, we also deliver them to those guys to squeeze out the last megahertz.
So another question. Sorry, right way.
Okay.
No, I have another question, but I forgot it. Yes, another question. So the last question. Now with the upcoming launch of the new Intel 6-core CPU, the multiplier between the memory frequency and the memory controller has changed. So the 3-channel kits will no longer be limited by the memory controller of the CPU. They will be limited by its performance, but not by the multiplier. So are you guys planning to release, okay, not this one, but let's say the 2250 megahertz kit for 3-channel?
Well, actually, we only can sell these modules as single modules. Yeah. So you can order 1, you can order 2, you can order 7. Yeah. So this is totally up to you. But we all know that the more modules you use, the less you can overclock. Yeah. Because it's more stress to the memory controller, and this is how it works. So. To be honest, I'm not able to get 4 of these running at 2400 megahertz because it's simply too much for the memory controller. And well, we all know that it would be great to have 10 of each CPU to test and to find the best one who has the best IMC. This is what we are all hunting for, right?
Other questions about the Corsair kits, Monstru?
Yes, so one last observation. Significant change I see from the older Dominator kit is that this one has modular heat spreader. I mean, you have the heat spreader that is actually taking the heat away from the chips, and you have the dissipation part, which can be used with air cooling, of course, with a Dominator air cooling airflow fan. But you can take the screws off and then put on some water block if you want. And it seems that these products have very good support from the enthusiast community. The site kingpincooling.com already listed some RAM pods for using with the Corsair GTX 1 heat spreaders. You just take the screws off, you take the dissipation part off, attach the liquid nitrogen cooler, and go for the world record. So you guys really thought about the enthusiast markets when you designed these modules, didn't you?
Yeah, well, there's nothing for me to add. He explained it absolutely. So eventually one last thing is that you all know the very first versions of the Dominator, they came with DHX, which means dual path heat exchange. So we are able to take away the heat from the chip as well as from the PCB. And this is just an upgraded version now. You are able to attach, well, you can make your own fins, yeah, for example, longer fins or whatever. But we are still using the taking away the heat from the PCB as well as the chips. So this is a Corsair patent, and we use customized PCB as well. So we will have lots of benefit here. And yeah, like he said, you can attach a RAM pod or whatever. So it's a perfect fit for the enthusiast community.
Thank you.